What if one of the biggest stars on the planet suddenly found himself at the center of a situation so alarming that millions of fans around the world began demanding immediate action? What if a series of online posts, alleged threats, privacy concerns, and past incidents all appeared to collide at the same time? And what if that star was none other than Jungkook of BTS? Today we're talking about a situation that has sent shockwaves through the BTS fandom, dominated social media conversations, and reignited a larger discussion about celebrity safety, privacy, and the growing problem of obsessive fan behavior. Before we begin, it's important to note that some of the claims circulating online have not been officially verified by law enforcement or publicly confirmed by HYBE or BIGHIT Music. We'll focus on what has been reported, what fans are discussing, and why so many people are deeply concerned. Now let's get into it. Over the past several days, Jungkook's name has once again exploded across social media platforms, but unlike previous occasions, when fans were celebrating a live broadcast, a music release, or a record-breaking achievement, this time the conversation has been much more serious. Fans around the world began sharing screenshots and posts that allegedly contained threatening language directed toward Jungkook. The situation escalated quickly. Within hours, thousands of fans were discussing the issue online. Soon after, hashtags related to Jungkook's safety started trending. Armies from multiple countries began urging HYBE and BIGHIT Music to take immediate action. For many fans, this wasn't just another social media controversy. It felt personal, it felt dangerous, and perhaps most importantly, it felt connected to a broader pattern that has been affecting Jungkook for quite some time. To understand why fans reacted so strongly, we need to take a step back, because this story didn't begin with alleged threats. It began with privacy. For years, BTS members have experienced invasions of privacy from individuals commonly referred to in Kpop as sasaengs. For those unfamiliar with the term, sasaeng behavior goes far beyond normal fandom. It can involve stalking, tracking schedules, following artists, obtaining private information, contacting them without permission, and other forms of intrusive behavior. The overwhelming majority of BTS fans strongly oppose this kind of conduct. Unfortunately, the issue has existed in the entertainment industry for decades, and according to many fans, Jungkook has repeatedly been forced to deal with situations that cross personal boundaries. Recently, Jungkook addressed one such issue directly. Through Weverse, he reportedly asked fans to stop sending food to his private residence. His message was respectful, it was polite, but it was also firm. He thanked supporters for their kindness. However, he made it clear that he would not accept food deliveries sent to his home. Many fans praised his honesty, others expressed sadness that he even had to make such a request in the first place. After all, a person's home is supposed to be a private space, place where they can relax, place where they can feel safe, a place separate from public life. For celebrities, maintaining that separation can be extremely difficult. And for global superstars like Jungkook, the challenge can become even greater. As discussions about privacy continued, another incident added to fans' concerns. During a live broadcast, Jungkook spoke about receiving calls from unknown individuals. Many viewers were shocked, some were frustrated, others were worried, because unwanted contact isn't merely annoying. It can also create a sense of anxiety and discomfort. The fact that Jungkook publicly mentioned these experiences suggested that the issue was significant enough to address directly. Then came another revelation. Jungkook reportedly asked fans not to seek him out while he was exercising. According to his comments, he had been surprised by encounters that occurred during personal time. Once again, many fans supported his request. Across social media, armies emphasized the importance of respecting boundaries. The message was simple: supporting an artist should never come at the expense of their privacy. And this brings us to the current controversy. As online discussions intensified, some fans began connecting recent events with previous incidents involving alleged boundary-crossing behavior. Screenshots circulated, accounts were analyzed, timelines were created. Communities attempted to piece together information. Within a short period of time, concern transformed into a global conversation. Millions of people wanted answers. Who was responsible? Were the threats credible? Had authorities been informed? Would HYBE respond publicly? Could additional security measures be implemented? These questions spread rapidly, but alongside the speculation, many armies urged caution. They reminded others not to jump to conclusions, not to engage in harassment, not to spread unverified claims, and not to turn a serious safety concern into an online witch hunt. This response highlighted something important. The BTS fandom is enormous, with millions of people participating in discussions. Misinformation can spread quickly. That's why many fans encouraged reporting information through official channels instead of relying solely on social media narratives. As concern continued to grow, another topic entered the conversation: celebrity safety. The entertainment industry has a long history of security challenges, from unwanted visitors to invasive photography and online harassment. Public figures often face risks that most people never experience. For global artists, those risks can become magnified. Every appearance attracts attention. Every movement generates discussion. Every public moment can be recorded, shared, analyzed, and reposted within seconds. While fame brings opportunities, it also brings vulnerabilities. Many armies argued that the current situation demonstrates why stronger protections are necessary. Others pointed out that this isn't just a BTS issue, it's an industry-wide issue, and perhaps even a broader societal issue. In the age of social media, access to information has never been easier. Unfortunately, that accessibility can sometimes encourage unhealthy behavior. The line between admiration and obsession can become blurred, and when boundaries disappear, problems can emerge. As conversations continued, support for Jungkook poured in from every corner of the world. Fans shared messages of encouragement. Fanbases organized awareness campaigns. Supportive hashtags appeared in multiple languages. Some fans created artwork, others wrote letters. Many simply wanted Jungkook to know that the vast majority of ARMY respects him, values his privacy, and hopes he remains safe. One of the most striking aspects of this situation has been the unity displayed by fans, regardless of nationality, language, or background. Supporters have largely focused on the same objective: protecting Jungkook's well-being. That shared concern speaks volumes about the relationship between BTS and their audience. For more than a decade, BTS has cultivated a connection built on authenticity, communication, and mutual respect. Through music, live streams, interviews, and social media interactions, the members have consistently engaged with fans around the world. Because of that connection, many armies feel deeply invested in the members' happiness and safety. When concerns arise, emotions naturally run high, and right now, emotions are certainly running high. But perhaps the biggest question remains unanswered: what happens next? Will there be an official update? Will additional information emerge? Will the individuals responsible for crossing boundaries face consequences? And most importantly, will Jungkook be able to enjoy the privacy and peace that every person deserves? At the moment, fans continue to wait, they continue to watch, and they continue to hope for positive developments, because beyond the headlines, beyond the trends, and beyond the viral posts, there is a simple truth: Jungkook is not just a global superstar, he is a human being, a person who deserves safety, a person who deserves privacy, and a person who deserves respect. This story is still developing, and as more information becomes available, the conversation will undoubtedly continue. But one thing is already clear: millions of people around the world care deeply about Jungkook's well-being, and for now, their message remains loud and clear: respect boundaries, protect artists, and keep Jungkook safe. To many casual observers, the reaction from BTS fans may seem intense. Some people might look at the trending hashtags, the flood of social media posts, and the growing concern and wonder, why is everyone so worried? The answer is actually more complicated than it appears, because for longtime BTS fans, this situation is not being viewed as an isolated incident. Instead, many see it as part of a larger pattern that has existed in the entertainment industry for years, and that's exactly why emotions are running so high. When conversations about Jungkook's safety began spreading online, many armies immediately referenced previous experiences involving celebrities and privacy violations, not necessarily because the situations were identical, but because history has shown that boundary-crossing behavior should never be ignored. Many fans believe that even seemingly small incidents deserve serious attention before they become bigger problems. That mindset explains why thousands of armies quickly began organizing information and encouraging others to use official reporting channels. For many supporters, This wasn't about creating drama. IT was about prevention. IT was about making sure concerns were documented, and it was about ensuring that companies and authorities, when appropriate, had access to information that could potentially help protect artists. As discussions continued, another topic began dominating social media conversations: the difference between being a fan and becoming obsessed. Most people who support BTS do so in healthy ways. They stream music. These incidents may seem unrelated at first, but together, they create a larger conversation about respect. What does it mean to truly support an artist? Is support measured by access, or is it measured by understanding? For many BTS fans, the answer is clear. Respect is one of the highest forms of support. That's why so many armies have spent recent days emphasizing the same message repeatedly: love should never become entitlement. Admiration should never become intrusion, and fandom should never become harassment. As the situation gained international attention, fan communities across multiple countries began responding. In South Korea, discussions focused heavily on artist safety and privacy. In the United States, many fans highlighted broader conversations about celebrity security. In Southeast Asia, Europe, and Latin America, support messages spread rapidly across fan networks. To truly understand why so many people are concerned about Jungkook right now, we need to look beyond this specific situation. Because what we're seeing isn't just about one artist, it's about a much bigger issue. An issue that affects celebrities across the entire world, and in many ways, social media has completely changed the game. 20 years ago, a celebrity could leave work and disappear from public view. When they went home, most fans had no idea where they were. There were no live streams. No location tags. That approach helps protect both artists and the broader community. At the same time, the emotional reaction from fans is understandable, because many supporters see a pattern. They see repeated conversations about privacy, repeated requests for boundaries to be respected, repeated reminders that artists deserve personal space, and when those concerns appear alongside reports of threatening behavior, anxiety naturally increases. What makes BTS particularly interesting is the relationship they have built with fans over the years. The group has consistently encouraged meaningful communication. Their messages often emphasize self-love, mental health, perseverance, and personal growth. Many fans feel genuinely inspired by their work. That emotional connection is powerful. But it also creates responsibility. A healthy fan culture depends on mutual respect. Artists respect their supporters. Supporters respect artists. When that balance exists, communities thrive. When it disappears, problems emerge. And perhaps that's the most important lesson from everything happening right now. This story is not simply about one alleged threat. It's not simply about one social media account. And it's not simply about one controversy. Because the future of celebrity culture may depend on them. As discussions continue, many observers are beginning to ask whether the entertainment industry needs stronger protections. Should penalties for harassment be increased? Should companies invest more heavily in security? Should social media platforms take a more aggressive approach toward threatening content? These debates are likely to continue long after the current situation fades from headlines, and perhaps that is one positive outcome that could emerge: greater awareness, greater accountability, and greater understanding of why privacy matters. For now, fans remain focused on Jungkook. They continue sending messages of support, they continue encouraging respectful behavior, and they continue hoping that the situation will ultimately lead to positive change, because at the end of the day, the issue extends far beyond fame. Every person deserves to feel safe, every person deserves personal space, and every person deserves the ability to live without fear of harassment or intimidation. That principle applies whether you're a global superstar or an ordinary individual, and it's a principle that millions of armies believe should never be forgotten. In the next chapter, we'll examine how ARMY became one of the most powerful fan communities in the world, and why their response to situations like this often attracts international attention. As this story continues to develop, one thing remains certain: millions of people around the world are watching closely, not because of rumors, not because of controversy, but because they genuinely care about Jungkook. For years, fans have watched him grow from a talented teenager into one of the biggest global stars of this generation. They've celebrated his achievements, supported his dreams, and stood beside him through every chapter of his journey. That's why this situation feels different. Not just another headline. It's not just another trending topic. It's a reminder that behind the sold-out stadiums, record-breaking achievements, and global fame, there is still a human being who deserves privacy, safety, and respect. As of now, fans continue to wait for updates, questions remain unanswered. And many people are hoping that the appropriate steps are taken to ensure Jungkook's well-being moving forward. But now, we want to hear from you. Do you think entertainment companies should take stronger action against individuals who violate artists' privacy? Do you believe social media platforms need stricter policies when it comes to threatening behavior online? And what message would you send to Jungkook right now if you had the chance? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want more BTS and Jungkook updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay respectful, and we'll see you in the next video, because this story may not be over yet, and the next update could change everything.